Good Tuesday evening, June 11th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. 4 years after the COVID-19 pandemic began, the Chelan Water Park Slide Waters has agreed to pay reduced fines for refusing to close its doors during the health emergency. If you see a helicopter flying low and slow over high voltage power lines, don't worry. It's just Chelan County PUD conducting some routine inspections, and expect less wind and mild temperatures over the next couple of days before wind and cooler temperatures this weekend. All the details straight ahead in your full local weather forecast. A sageland fire in southern Douglas County has residents in the Palisades keeping watch. The Palisades Road Fire was reported just before 11 p.m. last night, and by this morning, authorities said it had covered almost 700 acres on the southern ridge between Palisades Road and Stuhlmiller Road. Level 2 evacuation notices placed on the Stuhlmiller area were dropped to level 1 this morning, and no structures are known to have been lost. Molly Linville, a rancher who lives and works in the Palisades, told NCWLIFE News the fire was burning on her property as well on areas overseen by the U.S. Bureau of Land Management. A helicopter was ordered to begin water drops today. The cause of that fire is under investigation. A large grass fire in Baker Flats burned quickly through an empty plot of land before fire crews contained it this afternoon. The fire covered roughly 3 acres after it was first reported at 12:30 p.m. on Highway 97 just across the road from Northwest Wholesale. Wenatchee Valley Fire Public Information Officer Kay McKellar said the flames briefly threatened structures and caused a highway shutdown. The cause of that blaze is not yet known. 4 years after the COVID-19 pandemic began, the Chelan Water Park Slide Waters has agreed to pay reduced fines for refusing to close its doors during the health emergency. Washington's Department of Labor and Industries fined the park more than $9,600 in July of 2020 for reopening, despite the governor's order to close gathering places throughout the state. Slide Waters fought the decree in both state and federal court and lost at every step. But the fine remained unpaid and was under appeal in Chelan County Superior Court until this week. Slide Waters and L&I agreed to a reduced penalty of just over $7,200 and asked the judge to dismiss the case. Slide Waters must pay its fine in scheduled installments by July of 2025. An effort to have the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association amend a policy on transgender athletic participation was brought before the Eastmont School Board on Monday. In May, a viral story about a transgender athlete finishing first during a girls' track and field state championship race in Kashmir sparked social media outrage. Elizabeth Wilson, whose daughter, an Eastmont student, came in second during the championship race, spoke at the meeting.
Going through this experience, our family has concluded that this is not working. It isn't benefiting biological girls or transgender athletes. It is just encouraging hate. I understand that transgender athletes deserve a safe and fair place to compete, but so do our girls. Our girls work hard, and I've seen the sweat, the pain, and the tears, and it is discouraging to them knowing that they do not have a chance if they compete against a transgender athlete. We have been attacked for not thinking of the mental well-being of the transgender athletes, but nobody is thinking about the mental well-being of these girls.
Several attendees spoke in support of transgender athlete participation, including Colette Soleil, who spoke about coaching and participating in sports with transgender athletes.
Trans athletes are not looking for extra attention. Like everyone, they want to find things they are good at, places they belong, and to be free of persecution. A trans female athlete is a female athlete. A trans male athlete is a male athlete. It wasn't very long ago in our country's history that women were not allowed to run marathons and that black men were not allowed to play Major League Baseball. We as a society learned that we were wrong and we changed to become more inclusive. How cool is it that we can do that? I am proud to be on the side of change and inclusion, and I ask that you join me by continuing to support trans athletes in our country.
Multiple school districts would have to sign off on a proposal which would go to the WIAA for consideration next spring, and if passed, would need legal review to avoid violation of state law. When we come back, the City of Wenatchee Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department has hired Washington-based mural artist Molly Keene to create 2 murals for the newly reopened Wenatchee City Pool. The Pashaston Library is offering a free Mexican folkloric dance series for children this summer. And you saw Eastmont and Wenatchee High School seniors collect their diplomas over the weekend. Tonight, it's the graduates of Westside High School. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Let your voice be heard. I'm former Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett, and I'd like to be your District 12 State Representative in Olympia. With my extensive experience in law enforcement, I'm eager to serve you to ensure your community and neighborhood public safety. I intend to safeguard and improve your quality of life. I support your private property rights, lowering your tax burden, helping small business to thrive, fiscal responsibility, and your public safety.
Paid for by the committee to elect Brian Burnett for State Representative.
Welcome to the Columbia Basin Dispute Resolution Center. We are a local nonprofit serving Grant and Adams counties, helping businesses and people resolve difficult issues so they can move toward a better future. We offer help with workplace disputes, residential issues, family matters, and can train your staff in conflict prevention and resolution skills. Call us at 509-237-8401 to learn more.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
The City of Wenatchee Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department has hired Washington-based mural artist Molly Keene to create 2 murals for the newly reopened Wenatchee City Pool. Keene will create an aquatic-themed mural for the pool building and a mural featuring flora, fauna, and pollinators against a geographical landscape for the park restroom building. Local students from the Wenatchee Valley College Art 141 class will paint alongside Keene as part of a mural workshop. Members of the Wenatchee City Council and Arts, Recreation, and Parks Commission also plan to help with those murals. Both murals were paid for through the 1% for the Arts Fund and are scheduled to be completed by the end of this month. If you see a helicopter flying low and slow over high-voltage power lines, don't worry. It's just Chelan County PUD conducting some routine inspections. Every year, the PUD inspects over 300 miles of transmission lines ranging from Stevens Pass all the way to Wenatchee and from Palisades to Manson. The helicopter will take flight starting this Thursday and continue over the next couple of weeks as weather allows. The Pashaston Library is offering a free Mexican folkloric dance series for children this summer. The bilingual program targets kids ages 8 to 12 and will be taught in English and Spanish. The Pashaston Library is currently under renovation, so the classes will be held in the Pashaston Dryden Elementary School gymnasium. The program begins on June 25th and will run until August 15th and held on Tuesdays from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and then Thursdays from 11 a.m. to noon. Pre-registration is required and can be done on the NCW Library's website or by calling the Leavenworth Library. Coming up next, it's not every day a video production from a Wenatchee studio wins a Northwest Emmy Award, but North 40 Productions has done it. More in tonight's feature story. Nice tomorrow and Thursday with wind and cooler temperatures this weekend. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
In tonight's feature story, it's not every day a video production from a Wenatchee studio wins a Northwest Emmy Award. But North 40 Productions has done it, winning their trophy earlier this month in the environmental category for Saving the Icicle, a documentary about the Icicle Work Group, a partnership to preserve water and water rights in Chelan County's Icicle Creek. Jeff Austinson and Charles Atkinson directed and produced the film respectively. You can view the half-hour documentary in full on North 40's Vimeo page. Here's a sample of the show.
Check out this river. It's full of water, right? Well, sort of. There's a little more to the story. This is the Icicle Watershed. It's a pretty beautiful place, tucked in the eastern slopes of the Cascade Mountains near the Bavarian-themed town of Leavenworth. With epic views, crystal clear water, and diverse wildlife, you could say it's magical.
The Icicle Creek in this area, the Wenatchee area, continues to be an important part of our, not only our history, but also our special relationship to the salmon.
What's unique about the Icicle Watershed is that all of the headwaters come from the Alpine Lakes Wilderness Area. It's one of the most popular wilderness areas in the region.
It is truly a glorious area.
So as you might guess, settlers came and the communities here grew. Farmers began to grow crops like apples and pears. People visited and moved here to play in the incredible outdoors. The demand for water got higher and higher.
There's a lot of competing uses for water.
You have the Icicle Pashaston Irrigation District, which is feeding our, crucial, thriving agricultural industry. And you have the city of Leavenworth.
The majority of our water comes from the Icicle and has for years and years and years.
And you have the fish hatchery, which is, essential for making up for the damage to the native fish that were done by Grand Coulee Dam.
The salmon too have a right to complete their life cycle in the manner that was prescribed for them. That includes habitat, that includes clean water, cold water.
The greatest thing that I want more than anything is for my grandchildren to be able to fish and their grandchildren to be able to fish.
So there's lots of important big water users and not enough water.
So what do you do when you're running out of water? Take it to the judicial branch of our government, naturally.
Litigation between the tribes and the county, between the irrigation districts and environmental groups.
One of the things that happened to Leavenworth some years ago was the Department of Ecology took away some of our water rights.
We had lawsuits year in and year out for many years.
After a lot of getting nowhere, some people started to wonder if there was a better way.
Basically, litigation is all about determining a winner and a loser. Working cooperatively is about how do we all come out as winners.
All the farmers, irrigators, NGOs, agencies, and tribes decided to settle things in a different way. They all wanted the same thing, a healthy watershed with enough water for everyone. So they formed the Icicle Work Group.
Department of Ecology and the Office of Columbia River, in partnership with Chelan County in 2012, co-convened the Icicle Work Group to shed some new light and a new pathway on ongoing conflicts located within the basin. It is that key stakeholder group showing interest in solving problems that led to our participation.
Such a huge problem that the only way to ensure lasting, durable solutions is a collaborative process like this.
This provided a forum to have those open discussions and kind of work through some of those problematic issues.
It takes a willingness of everybody to listen and to understand what the other party has to say.
It was almost overwhelming to me at first. When you have that many different groups, there's going to be some compromises along the way. Everybody's going to have to give up a little bit of something.
It can be exasperating and frustrating, but we're all in this together.
That is definitely the promise of collaboration in a group like the Icicle Work Group. And I think there's definitely been some examples of that in the Icicle Work Group. And yet there's still some pretty big hurdles out there.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Tuesday, and I do want to wish my daughter Madison a happy 25th birthday today. And unfortunately, honey, once again, lots of wind out there today, and we did experience that all over North Central Washington. We had a steady wind of almost 30 miles an hour at times this afternoon, with gusts for many of us over 40. As we look out our weather window from this afternoon, though, we kind of found a calm period where we had our camera not shaking around so much, but we did enjoy those beautiful blue skies today and mild temperatures, again above normal. But speaking of that wind, this is exactly what we did see: winds to 20 to 30 and gusts between 30 and 45 miles an hour. Our problem and our concern really with those strong winds, of course, increased fire concerns. We've already seen our fair share of early season fires. So with wind and with the dry conditions out there, just be extra careful when we're seeing those windy and hot, dry conditions. Our weekend outlook, though, it's not going to be that hot, but we are going to see wind, and that'll begin on Friday once again. High temperatures generally in the upper 70s, and then expect a cool down. We're going to see mainly temperatures in the 60s, both Saturday and on Father's Day for Sunday. And I'll tell you, it is going to be a windy one Saturday with less wind on Sunday. So get ready for a nice couple of days and then a cooler weekend ahead. 81 unofficially our high temperature today. 77 is where we should be for this time of year. Our normal high 93, or a record high rather, 93, set in 1986. 61 this morning, so it was mild out there. 7 degrees above where our low temperature should be at 54. 40 our record cold, and that was set in 1990. Sunrise this morning came up at 5:04 and it'll set tonight just before 9 o'clock at 8:58. Checking on those Wednesday temperatures, a lot like today, but the good news about Wednesday, a lot less wind. High temperatures, 82 for Moses Lake and Ephrata. Quincy, you will see a high of 82, and then cooler from Ellensburg into Wenatchee and Entiat, around 80 and just above 80 for Chelan and Omak, with mid to upper 70s in our higher elevations from Lake Wenatchee up into Cashmere. So not a bad Wednesday ahead, and by all means, enjoy it. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. We'll see some of that wind still tonight. The good news, it will decrease after about midnight or so. Low temperatures will be a little cooler than we've seen, around that 50-degree mark. For Wednesday, sunny skies. Yeah, it's going to be nice with high pressure up into British Columbia. Lots of clear skies for Washington. Less wind tomorrow. High temperatures generally for us around that 80-degree mark. As we get into Thursday, as I mentioned yesterday, probably our nicest day. Just a wisp of high clouds on Thursday, but hardly any wind at all. And we're going to warm up a little bit too, with high temperatures in those low 80s as that high pressure ridge once again intensifies. But then by Friday, low pressure will move across southern Canada, dragging a cold front with it. We'll see partly cloudy skies, breezy conditions, and cooler temperatures on Friday, with afternoon highs then into the mid-70s and more wind. Look at all of it on Saturday to kick off our Father's Day weekend. Talking winds about 20 to 30 miles an hour. Going to cool down too, with high temperatures only into the upper 60s for Saturday, and not much change for Sunday, just a little less wind out there. We're going to see some clouds, and you know what? About a 30% chance, I think, that we could see some rain shower activity. You can see it moving in throughout the state as another system slides across southern Canada. Going to stay a little bit below normal as far as temperatures too, highs in the upper 60s. And then for Monday, partly cloudy skies. Once again, plenty of cloud cover throughout the state, and look at all of the shower activity through the Pacific Northwest and the inland Northwest and over into Montana. High temperatures on Monday into those low 70s. All right, your 7-day forecast. 49 overnight tonight. A very nice couple of days ahead of us. Wednesday and Thursday. 80 tomorrow, 83 on Thursday. And then unfortunately, folks, the wind is back for both Friday and Saturday. Only 68 the high temperature for Saturday. Rain showers on Sunday and Monday. Upper 60s Sunday, with a high Monday of around 72 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Cal Raleigh has one of the best nicknames in baseball, the Big Dumper, and last night he was the big hero, a grand slam home run in the 9th inning, and the Mariners come back and beat the White Sox 8-4.
Turned on this one, out to left, and it is a monster home run by Robert Jr. He wasn't sure if it was going to stay fair, pulled the hands in, and a 2-run home run gets the White Sox on the board. Wow. He stood at home plate wondering if it was going to stay fair, because he certainly had the distance.
112 miles per hour off the bat. We were talking about him guarding against the inside part of the plate.
2-2. And Sosa singles to center field. They're going to wave in Vaughn. Here comes the throw from Rodriguez. It's offline, and Vaughn will score. An RBI single for Lenyn Sosa. And the White Sox take a 3-0 lead. 3-2 the count to Corey Julks. Turns on one, goes out to left, and it just gets over the wall. 3rd home run of the season for Corey Julks, as the White Sox take a 4-0 lead here in this 8th inning.
Corey rips this one right down the line. Really nice at bat. Hasn't had a great day, but then gets a pitch, sinker inside corner of the plate, maybe a little bit off. Really nice right there. Balanced, juices this ball to left field.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Dom Canzone leads it off with a swing and a drive deep to center field. Robert going back, looking up, and good vibe baseball. Dom Canzone jumping on Eric Betty's first pitch. here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A home run to center, and the Mariners finally get on the board here in the bottom of the 8th, and it's now the White Sox 4 and the Mariners 1.
Down Canzone with a blast, and the Mariners on the board. That's going to work. Get down. Bliss scores. JP right behind him. Digging for third. Getting there with the sliders. Rojas. Mariners creeping a little closer. Only down a run. Big spot by Mitch Haniger. Two wonderfully timed RBI to make this a 4-3 White Sox lead.
This is clutch. Puts it right back in the ballgame with this base hit. Just a perfect bunt. Make sure you get it past the pitcher, and that's what he does.
What a beauty.
What an opportunity for Locklear. Yeah, he likes it. He's fired up.
And the Mariners have the bases loaded with one out for Cal Raleigh. Swinging a well-hit ball deep to right field. Going and going. Grand ball, get out the right, bread and mustard. It is grand salami time. A walk-off grand slam for Cal Raleigh, and the Mariners win it. They win it 8-4 in an amazing comeback here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Cal jumps on a 2-0 pitch from Leisure. He's getting mobbed at home plate. So Cal Raleigh with another grand slam home run, his 12th of the season. The Mariners win it 8-4. Holy smokes, what a fantastic finish here at T-Mobile Park tonight. Crawford scores, Rojas scores, Julio scores, Cal scores, everybody scores. Everybody on their feet. The Mariners were down 4-0 going into the bottom of the 8th inning. They got 4 in the 8th, 4 runs here in the 9th. The Mariners' 4th grand slam of the season, and the Mariners win it 8-4. How about that, folks? What a finish for the Mariners here at T-Mobile Park to take game 1 of the 4-game series.
Manager Scott Service said last night was a reminder about how great the game of baseball really is, especially if you win the way that the Mariners won.
Baseball, you got to love it, you got to hate it, and everything else in between. Wild game, certainly, and we've played a bunch of these lately over in Kansas City, and I was hoping we were getting back to normal. We got home, but that was not the case tonight. But can't say enough about our group. Our guys just constantly continue to fight and didn't look really good. Awesome at-bats. Taking the walks there in the 9th inning and putting him up against the wall, working counts, and then Big Dumper does what he does. Late in games, he always has good at-bats. You know he's going to get the job done for us there. So, again, not the way we drew it up today. We got in here on how we wanted to start the series, but heck of a comeback. They like competing. They don't get too high, don't get too low. You just keep grinding and keep going and keep going. And if you really lean on each other, you have an opportunity for big things to happen at the end of the game. And this won't be the last time we do that. I feel very strongly about that. I really like our club.
Game 2 of the 4-game series is tonight. Brian Wu will pitch against his former college teammate. They both went to Cal Poly. His name is Drew Thorpe, and he's making his Major League debut. Yesterday was Monday. Not a lot of action going on in Major League Baseball. In the American League West, the two teams that are trying to chase us, they both lost. We like that. Giants beat the Astros 4-3 in 10 innings. The Padres knocked off the Athletics 6-1. Coming off a very good road trip, they went 4-2 against Port Angeles and Victoria. Apple Sox back in the big city tonight, 3-game set against the Bellingham Bells. We'll have tomorrow night's game right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Tonight's starters you see on the screen. First pitch is at 6:35. It's Tuesday. That means it's $2 Tuesday, $2 off selected items in the concession stands and selected beverages. And those are just some of the games that people are playing.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and don't forget to tune in to tonight's coverage right here on the NCW Life channel of Westside High School's graduation, and that begins at 7 o'clock. Have a great night.